You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's 24 Live Another Day After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's 24 Live Another Day After Show.
Welcome back to another episode of AFTERBUZZ with 24 Live Another Day.
No, you welcome back.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Danny Hoyt. Thank you. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I missed a really awesome episode last week.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
The best one yet.
I think it was the best. Well, this one's pretty real. So, first of all, my name's Nando Velasquez, and next to me, Danny Hoyt.
Also wearing a navy blue shirt.
Also,
we coordinated on purpose.
We had a memo. There was a memo out.
There was a memo.
Apparently,
Didn't you get that memo?
Jeff did not get the memo.
I can change.
You can change.
I can change.
You can
What
change.
do you want me to be? Nice?
I can change.
Mean?
I can
I'm
change.
Jeffrey Masters. Yo, what up? Blah, 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 buzz.
And next to Jeffrey, who was shocked as always.
Unpredictable.
What's going on?
The
We're talking about
unpredictable.
24, live another day.
Oh, okay, now I'm here. Yeah, hi, I'm Roxy Striar. Good
Yes.
to be here.
Cheers.
And Nando, yes, again, good to have you back. We missed our leader.
Thank you very much. And joining us with the clock, with the ticketies is Phil. Phil T-Tech. And this
Check
episode
out.
Better
On the clock.
tickety.
and this episode is brought to you by Maria Menounos, the Every Girl's Guide to Diet and Fitness. It's been out for about a month now. It's been a New York Times bestseller with tons of awesome information, recipes, celebrity interviews,
And we're all case
hot
studies.
shots.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at us.
I know you said recipes, but it sounded like you said rest in peace. But I'll tell you why it's funny, because that thing's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Rest
it's
in
not.
peace is exactly the opposite of what it's doing.
Exactly.
You like that?
You don't rest in peace. Yeah,
I just
exactly.
came up with that on the fly.
No, I like
Rest
that.
in peace to your body fat. How about that?
Yeah, rest in peace to your body
To
fat. If you
everyone's.
read this book,
If
you
you read
rest
the
in peace.
I feel like I'm in a very different place than you guys are right now.
No, you're sitting right next to me.
Well, let's get back to
Get
the
off my
show.
planet.
This is
Get off my
episode
planet.
10, day 9, which is the 8 p.m. hour, and oh my
It's
God,
getting late.
stuff got real. Yeah, it's definitely getting late. It's getting late in London. It's still early in LA, but it's late in London. Stuff definitely is getting real. Lots of really good stuff this episode.
Really real.
Really real. Well,
It
it
was
looks like
Trill,
it
if
looks
you
like
will.
World War III is about to start, but we'll get to that part toward the a little bit later. Let's start off with where we were left off last week's episode, which was Navarro escaped the CIA CTU headquarter type place. With Jack fast on the run, and Navarro's got the overwrite device. So very exciting. Obviously, with no terrorist threat anymore, we obviously are shifting gears to the overwrite device and to Navarro trying to get out with it. So I got to say, I'm really surprised. It was really awesome. But let me know your thoughts about this. I just thought it was really funny seeing Navarro smacking a soldier, like, cold cocking a soldier and taking his assault rifle.
How do you not hear a guy running up behind you and you're
Trained.
trained, like you can listen to twigs in the forest and
Yeah.
where people are going, and you don't hear this guy who's, let's be honest, Navarro's older in age, so he's probably not running
Yeah.
super quiet anymore, and he's in dress shoes. He wasn't prepared to run.
He looks in shape to me.
He looks in shape.
He's in shape. When you
looks
saw his
shirtless
shirt off
today.
later
But
on the
he didn't-
episode, he
You
was in
like that,
shape.
Nando, huh?
He didn't
That
go
was interesting.
into the office that day with his running shoes on.
That's true.
I think you'd hear those flat-bottom Italian
You
shoes.
never know. They
smacking-
could be slippers that look like dress shoes.
Well, I think that soldier was macking on a girl. He was talking to some
those
girl.
were
It was
two
kind
young
of.
That was a
boys.
guy.
Oh, the boys? Oh, he was macking on somebody.
No.
He was
21st
macking on
century, it's
somebody.
fine. I was just surprised that nobody at any point notices men chasing each other holding guns.
Yeah, just shooting in public.
Yeah, like nobody even bat an eye. Like, get your eyes off your iPhones and look. There's a armed robber.
I see what you did there.
I think we should step back for a second, though, and talk about the fact that Navarro got completely screwed by Cross. He's sitting there saying, "Where's my car? Where's my car?" I'm like, dude, where's my car?
Well, this was definitely after that when he got to the Liverpool station and he did the little switcheroo. He ended up getting passports, but no car.
And
so-
that's a great lesson for him to learn. He drops the bag without the car being there. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just think that Navarro's not as smart as I believe.
Do you think he
him
learned
to
his
be.
lesson? Do you think he'll do it better next time?
I sure hope so.
I know, what an
it's the
idiot.
next time for him.
And his escape plan from maximum security prison? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But he dropped it through the hole, and then he says, "Where's my car?" Adrian's on the other side of the wall. Just like go around and chase him. He
Look
just
through the hole, buddy.
Stick your head through the hole.
It wasn't like a
in a
mail
peephole.
slot. Yeah, I know.
It was a pretty big hole.
Yeah, like big enough
Thank
that he
you.
could have squeezed through that.
Yeah, he probably could have if he really wanted to get the device back and say, "Wait a second, I'm not going to give it back to you until you give me the car."
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, he got double crossed, but good for good for
Double-crossed by
Adrian.
Adrian Cross. There we go. He got Adrian crossed.
I'm in a frat house.
Come on, thank you.
He got Adrian crossed, and he ended up getting caught by Jack, while Adrian, in his nice little London fog trench coat and his gal on his arm, just walks into the metro.
Are we referring to Chloe as his gal? Ooh, that's a tough day for Chloe.
Well, I mean, come on. We see that Chloe. There's some kind of attraction there with Chloe and Cross. There seems to
It's
be
like Stockholm syndrome.
something like that. It
He's
seems
kept
like
her
it.
in captivity for so long, and she's like, "All right, fine, you're in my age range, whatever."
Yeah, apparently. So Jack just misses the metro, runs after him, misses the metro, and sees Chloe. And
He sees Chloe. Chloe doesn't see him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
But
I thought
Cross
it was
does.
so weird. Yeah, that's
Cross doesn't. He just doesn't flinch.
Yeah.
He made zero facial expression.
I felt like at the bottom of the screen it was going to say moo ha ha ha, like earlier when
Like,
we see damn it, and nobody says.
I thought there was gonna be like a voiceover, and Cross was gonna be like, "If I don't look at him, he can't see me."
But Cross just kind of like just
Cross was pretty smug.
smug's a good word for
Yeah,
it.
he saw Jack. Chloe didn't, but he did, and he was just like,
He was non-responsive.
yeah. He knew he can get away. So before we go on, let me ask you guys about this. So when Chloe found out, I was actually surprised. I thought Cross was going to probably just lie to Chloe, but Cross was pretty straight up. I'm getting the override device. And he told him his plans for releasing it and giving it to every single government.
He wants to make technological warfare obsolete.
And he wants to make real live love to Chloe. That's why he was.
That's why he was being
She wanted
honest like
nuclear
that,
bomb
showing his
dropping.
power.
Yeah.
What would the opposite of real live love be?
I thought he was gonna say
Fake-
technological love. So I was
Pre-recorded
gonna say,
love.
So I was trying to
Jumping the gun here. Also, do we like that he whipped out the Isn't this the world you would have wanted for Morris and Prescott?
Well, yeah, he kind of guilted her with that a little bit, and you could see the look on her face when he hugged her afterwards, and she looked pretty frightened. But I guess my question is, do you think that what he was doing was actually good or ethical in some way?
I
Which
definitely-
part of what he was doing?
The fact that he wanted the override device so he can give vulnerabilities to every single
I
government.
think that was a lie. He was just saying that. I don't think that's really what he wants to do.
You don't
I
think he
thought
was
that
being
was
honest? I figured he was being
I
honest
don't
to
think he
Chloe
was
about
being
that.
honest. Well, so you can get. I don't think
What
that's.
did you think he wanted the device for?
I think that is partial truth,
Yeah.
but it's also for power and negotiation to line his own pockets. It's not really like he cares so much about the world. Like, I want to help everyone so I can make sure that everyone knows their vulnerabilities, and at the end of the day, that's it. Like, I just
think
want to
at
have
his
my go
position,
to
though,
bed.
like he can get wealth and power already. That's not an issue.
No, I think
Yeah.
he wants the money first and foremost, and B, he wants like that.
Well, you have to remember,
basically, if he did that, he'd be the middleman for any country forever because everybody owes him a favor.
No, it would be done. He would give everybody everything automatic.
Right. I think he's so sick of everybody else playing God that he wants to play God one last time, and then everybody is on equal playing field. I think he was
Yeah.
being honest with what he was doing, but do I think that it's valid? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I think he thinks it is.
Well,
I
he
really
obviously
think he
thinks
thinks
he
he's
is.
doing the right thing. I think it's very clear that when you go a step that far, you're not doing the right thing anymore.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like at the very least, even though we don't agree with his ethics, that it doesn't make him look as much like a villain. Like he has an
Right.
intention. It didn't look like he had personal gain for it. All along, he's really been about revealing secrets. He's been the WikiLeaks guy. You know, he's been about revealing secrets for public knowledge because he
Right.
feels that
Yeah.
will take down governments and take down
And it was in
control.
line with that.
Yeah, I think it was in line with that. What he did with the Chinese originally, selling those secrets to the Chinese, he admitted it himself, lining his pockets. It cost money to do an operation.
Right.
So I think he at least had good intentions. I was just curious to see what you guys thought. I think it doesn't make any sense for such a brilliant guy to say, oh, I'm going to use this device and give it to every single government so they know exactly how to, disarm every other government.
You said that does not make sense?
It doesn't make sense for someone as brilliant as him. I don't think that's a smart idea what he was doing it for.
Oh.
I don't think his intentions weren't bad, but they weren't smart.
You don't
either.
agree with what he was doing.
I obviously
For such a smart guy, he wasn't making that smart of a play.
That's
Right.
that's exactly what I mean. Yeah, for such a smart guy, I don't think that was such a smart play.
And same with Navarro.
I thought that like in his world, it's like the most
Cross.
selfless thing he could do. That's
Perhaps.
like his motive.
Well, I guess being a hacker and all this stuff, I guess he just figures that's the best way to pretty much
It's almost
shut
as if
everything
Edward
down.
Snowden was like, I have all the world's secrets and I'm giving them to all the world.
And I'm
Yeah.
giving back to the world.
It'd be like if I got all of y'all's Facebook passwords and gave it to all of you. So everyone had everybody's Facebook password.
So we don't ever attack any other Facebook account ever because we know that someone
Yes,
else
it would be
is.
very similar to
It'd be
that.
like, why
concur.
would you like post an awful
I
status
concur.
at me on
Do you
mine?
concur?
If
I
did it for
concur,
you?
sir.
Do you concur?
I concur.
Do you concur?
Sure.
I concur. Do you concur?
Maria?
I think that if he was trying to be painted as the villain,
Yeah.
we would have seen him shoot at Chloe as opposed to the driver.
Yeah, well, that's true because Chloe tried to escape with the device very meekly, man.
I have a question. Also, Adrian can whip out a gun and shoot his gun that fast. How do you miss the driver? Point blank, right there.
I don't
It
think
just
he's trying to
shatters
kill
I
the
think he was
driver.
trying to scare the
Yeah.
driver away so the driver could drive off.
Right.
That's why
I don't think he was the villain. Nobody was trying to picture him as that. He was trying to say, "Be gone with you."
Be gone with I concur with that.
I concur too.
I concur.
I also
Be gone.
Just
Yeah, that's the driver.
I'm having a big moment right now, but I had an even bigger moment in the episode tonight when my girl came back.
Oh, I thought
Oh my God.
yeah.
Don't climax it
Let's
yet.
don't get there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although we did
we're
see
talking
her.
about Cross?
I know we
We're
talked to the
edging
Indian
here, we're
girl.
edging.
They were on their way to the home base to talk to the Indian girl who got her SAG.
Don't get there
She
yet.
got her SAG card today. It's official.
No, she got it earlier.
She got it earlier?
And-
Okay, here's the deal. She has a name. I think we should give her the name she has. Her character name is Chell, and her actual name is Mandeep Dillon.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Awesome.
Well, Chell.
Jeff's contribution for the evening. There it is.
Thank you and good night. Good night and good luck.
Chell showed up tonight, big, and guess what? She was really, not that she was a mole exactly like I predicted, but she was working with Cross and knew everything he was doing. So to me, she was a
So
mole.
in other
Is that a
words, she
mole?
worked. In other words, she worked with Cross. She was his employee. So
In
you
other
predicted.
words,
Yeah, she was his
her
employee.
original position never changed.
The position that we saw was what she did.
So everything's the same.
No, because Chloe didn't know everything Cross knew. Cross only told a few people and Chell.
Time out. Let me reset real quick. So we still know she's the Indian girl you're referring to, and she's doing the exact same job. Awesome. Got it.
Awesome. Okay,
Moving
great
And I
prediction.
predicted that.
You did.
Great prediction that she does. That she sticks to the status quo.
Right.
Awesome. I concur with that too.
Right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes.
And she comes back in the season finale.
Are you gonna predict that?
She's dead.
Yeah, her funeral's in the season
You don't
finale.
know that guy who was sitting up. What was his name? Sheep or something? He was sitting there like coughing up blood. Maybe he's still alive.
She's dead.
I think I think she's dead. I think she's dead.
You don't know that. There was no silent clock.
Well, anyway, yes, there was no sliding clock.
You're right.
Chloe says so Chloe says she has to go to go pee, and she meekly runs to a Chloe, who's kind of badass and dressed all like in leather and everything
She's
like
been
that.
dressed in black and leather all season.
and she
Well, I guess all day.
all day.
technically. She's been the same outfit.
And yet she was like, I don't know, it's just very whiny and wimpy. Just walks like 20 feet, sees a truck, and goes,
Yeah.
hey.
If we want to talk about someone not being smart, let's talk about Chloe. That was the stupidest exit strategy I've
Yeah.
ever seen. What she should have done is just like hooked the bag on the truck and pretend like she didn't do anything,
Or
and then
just-
get back in and alert Jack. Like,
Put
hey,
the device-
it's on this big white truck.
Put the device under the truck, have him roll it over.
Or
Run
just
over it.
no yelling involved. He was driving.
Right.
Just,
You know what?
Just,
That's a brilliant idea. No yelling involved. Maybe if she just kept walking,
Walking,
the
nobody would've-
bathroom's another 5 blocks. I'll be right back. She just could have
Also,
kept going.
if she gets in the porta potty, he's gonna get on his like iPhone and like Instagram something.
Right.
He won't be looking at her.
he's totally gramming. What's he gonna gram? The
I
device.
Don't know. Yeah.
No, he's probably gonna gram himself. He seems like a
Selfie.
selfie guy.
It was a selfie
Adrian
Sunday.
Cross is totally a selfie.
Device selfie. LOL.
What day of the week do we think this is taking place on?
Oh, if I
Is
had
this
to
a Sunday?
guess,
A
no,
selfie Sunday?
let's all guess. I think it's a solid Tuesday.
I was gonna say Tuesday.
I honestly
No, I
felt
took
like
it.
Tuesday.
I was gonna say
felt like
Tuesday.
Tuesday
Do you
also,
concur?
though. I
'Cause you guys are
concur.
I concur with Tuesday.
No.
Do you want to be cool? Do you want to be in with the crowd?
It's kind of like a Thursday
pressure.
thing for me. Like, the
Oh,
bar
this
was
is
pretty
Thursday.
crowded.
Very Thursday
I thought it was
vibing?
like a Thursday.
Oh, you know what?
Thursday,
That's a good.
Thursday.
Actually, that's a good point. The
bar-
bar
he's-
was pretty crowded.
It was not
Yes.
crowded.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's obviously grabbing a
It's
throwback
happy
Thursday.
hour
Yeah,
on Tuesday.
But Thursday's a popular college night. There were much older people at that bar.
Thirsty Thursdays.
Nando
Al,
with
you
the
know what?
win.
Nando's got a point there. I just think maybe it was like World Cup's going on. It's Tuesday afternoon. They're watching Algeria versus Germany or something like that
Yeah.
in a pub
I see.
in London.
No.
Let's
no,
cut the difference. Just say
no.
Wednesday. Maybe we could just say Wednesday.
No way, Jose.
No way Wednesday, huh?
No way, Jose.
Woman Crush
No way.
Wednesday. He's grabbing Chloe. Anyway, I think we can move on.
Oh, give
Okay.
it to Roxy. That was the best one.
Let's move on. So anyway, so Chloe and Cross, and we get to see a little bit more of this whole relationship between the two of them at least, and more the fact that what's his name, Cross, is busy using her husband and son to get her to
Adam.
Yeah, to kind of go along
He
with
knows
it.
a lot about her past. Did that
Yeah.
surprise
Well,
anyone?
they're
no,
kind of
Chloe's-
dating. Chloe's passed.
Oh, I thought you switched it over to Morgan because you said so.
No, I didn't mean Morgan. But anyway, let's talk about Navarro. So Navarro's in custody, which is awesome because we get to see everything unravel in his world. We find out that that Kate learns that Phoenix operation, whatever that thing that the what's his name?
Jordan.
Jordan was working on.
Frickin'
Would have
Jordan.
found out. Would have made it this big discovery that Navarro was the source.
Yeah.
And he
was the
set up
mole.
Adam, and that
Yeah.
he fed information to the Chinese.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
So
sorry.
Kate-
I'm putting myself in Kate's shoes right now.
Yeah.
I'm standing there.
I
I just
kill
learned
you.
this. Navarro walks in handcuffs. I pull out my gun and I put one between his eyes.
I actually, you know what? If the episode ended with Navarro in custody, that would have been my prediction. That would have been my prediction for the next week that Kate would have shot him dead.
I mean, I
So-
wouldn't hesitate. Like, game over.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
caused my significant other to commit suicide. Game over.
And let's
Yeah.
also
That takes precedent over any.
Oh yeah, no,
And
she
like
was
a
pissed
public
off.
trial.
She was pissed off. And also,
care
let's
less.
not forget too now that since Navarro was taken, the acting agent in charge is Ritter. Ritter is back. This is the first time I think we've seen Ritter in a while.
couple episodes.
God.
He's been in a couple, like in the car. He was in the fight out. You missed last week. He
I
was in
missed
the
that.
fight out.
Oh, that's right, he
tactical
was.
Sport last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a diminished role, and I feel like he's kind of a. I don't know. He doesn't seem like a great leader.
He doesn't seem like a great
No.
leader. Kate
Doesn't
obviously
seem
is
like
a
he
better
wants it.
leader.
I want to see him want the job before I grant him a job as
Yeah.
director of the CIA
Circumstances to get
substation.
the director job.
Obviously, it's short term because of what happened with Navarro.
Yeah.
That he's the acting agent
He's
in
on
charge.
lease.
I think that
If you will.
I'm eating a little crow here because if you go back to the first episode when I was talking about Ritter, I was like mole, like absolutely he's on the other team. He's not that. He's just kind of weird and laid back. And so when he's now acting chief, it's
He's
weird to.
not as experienced as
Right.
Kate.
Square-like, like not gonna break rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think that Kate would do a really good job in that position.
And most importantly, I think Navarro feels that Ritter's going to be in charge, so I could probably do whatever the hell I want. I'm in custody. I'll get interrogated. I can handle myself. I'm trained to.
But you know what?
To hold information, and they're going to have to do what I say.
Full immunity is not on the table, but your hands are.
Yeah, I love that, Jack.
Boom.
Well, even before that, Jack just talking to Ritter and saying, "I'm gonna go I need to go interrogate him. I'm the only one he'll talk to because
It's classic Jack when he
it's
goes,
classic Jack.
Let me talk to him.
Let me talk to him.
It's even more classic when he
He's
says, I'm not asking.
I'm not asking
And then
you.
he gives,
I'm
he gives
doing
him a
it.
little,
This is a
shoulder
courtesy.
bump on
Yeah.
his way by. I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
When Jackson, they're interrogating him, and he says, "That's not on the table, but your hands are." He beats his hand with the gun,
Yeah.
breaks his hand, and then gives him an elbow, knocks him to the ground, and gets on top of him.
Yeah.
When Ritter finally gets in there, he screams for medical team like Jack
Yeah.
just shot him in the face. All he did was break his hand. So his hand hurts. It wasn't even bleeding. He just held it up like this. And like
It's not a mortal
Ritter was like,
wound.
medical team, can't get out. I freaked out.
Yeah, there was nothing. There was.
All he did was there was no
Well,
blood. There was
I
like
think-
a little cut on his
It had
lip.
nothing to do with that. I'm with you, especially because nothing was urgent. Like his hand is broken, so now it's going to be broken
Big
for.
deal.
It's not
I
like he's
agree.
going to die
They didn't
if
give
you
him-
do not.
But like they didn't give him pain medicine anyway.
Right.
You have to figure out though that Navarro's in custody and he's asking for full immunity and they want to comply and here comes Jack
Yeah.
breaking his hand. can. So at the very least,
I
by
thought that was,
showing
like, a major overreaction.
Well, I just figured by Ritter showing urgency for the matter, saying this is about your well-being, he was kind of showing in good faith that they could still work with Navarro.
Yeah, and we had to get him into medical room somehow because then we had to have the Kate Bauer interaction.
Well, I mean,
think
Ritter
that
had
was an
nothing to do
original
with that.
plan, though.
Yeah, that
No,
wasn't
no,
the
no,
plan.
no, no, no. I'm not saying that's the plan. I'm saying like the producers of 24 were like, how do we get him into medical? Oh, we do this by having Jack not hurt him enough that he's in a coma so that he can speak.
Well, we all knew when
I-
Jack went in there, he was going to do something to
Yeah.
hurt
Right.
him.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to cut his
But-
nipple off or like.
But it
break
was
his
an
finger or
awesome
something.
Jack scene, of course, doing what he did, and
Cut
then
his
the
nipple
second,
off. I wasn't thinking that.
that's a little disgusting.
But I
actually.
agree with
Show you a
Danny
little
was saying,
trick,
like,
take your mind off that pain.
I think the initial reaction is get Jack off him, separate them,
Yeah.
and then, okay, let's get him down to medic. Not like the initial thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
don't-
like, we gotta save this man's life.
That'd be interesting if Jack really thought that far ahead and figured by doing that he can get him to medical and then do that. That would be awesome. But I think Kate
Jack
was even
knows
more
all.
pissed off because Kate's here. Kate's listening to this interrogation and hearing Navarro ask for full immunity, and of course she's getting all pissed off because she doesn't want Navarro to walk away scot-free after what he's done.
See, I'm Team Danny here, except I'm a little later than he is. If I saw Navarro walking by, that would have been I would have screamed bloody murder and been so pissed. But when he's finally in the interrogation room and Jack is in there, I would have been right in there with him and like just murdered the guy.
All right, Roxy, I have a question for you.
Yep.
You're gonna kill Navarro. Do you kick him in the nuts first?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you double foot like WWE kick him in the nuts, or do you single foot, or do you punch him?
I'm not like a nuts kicker. That's not a move
Have
of
you
mine.
ever
But
kicked
I've
someone in the
never
nuts?
kicked somebody in the nuts. But if somebody caused my significant other to off themselves
Hang
and
themselves.
and
You'd
ruin
shoot
their
her-
life.
You'd shoot him in the nuts.
Oh my God! Like over and over and over and over.
Wow,
And I wouldn't
You'd
care about
empty the
anything.
magazine into his.
So in
pelvic
other words,
region?
what Kate was doing for you was like not enough.
I know it's smart. It's very smart.
She was
It's
at
way,
least was able
It's way more
to-
composed than I would have been.
Yeah.
I know that this is not on HBO, but I
Yeah.
would have been like you.
Well, let's talk about the medical scene because I think we figured it out right before the reveal.
Right.
We realized it, but it was such a well played and well directed and choreographed scene, and just plot wise, it was a great idea.
It was
Kate-
even before that, though. It was when they were
Well,
standing in that hallway. And
Jack
we see
was talking to Kate about that.
She was doing a little bit of a pee-pee dance. She was like moving back and forth. She like didn't know what to do with herself. And I was like,
pee-pee
ooh,
dance.
they're joining up together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good cop, bad cop.
Well, it was really good to see that, and again,
Jack never plays good cop.
I know.
He never plays good cop, but it was really funny to see that.
I know.
And to see him go, we got to save the device. Don't do this. We got to get the device. And pretty much what Jack said earlier to Ritter, which was he was the only one that could scare the crap out of Navarro because Navarro just assumes that everyone else is going to play nice and go
Subordinate.
for and is going to be a
He views him
subordinate.
as a subordinate.
Yeah, and they're all gonna go for the immunity because they figure that's the only way to get information from him. But then obviously Kate, after being screwed over by Navarro and her husband dying, was the perfect person to scare the shit out of him. So,
And she did.
And she totally did. With Jack there trying to protect Navarro, her having a gun down to his head or up that way, and I'm just using visual.
What's happening? Also,
Jack-
that's a great time to remind
Sammy's
you
like,
guys. This is
"What?"
a PG-13 show when Nando Velasquez is on the show.
And I said it was an S. I said an S word, didn't I?
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
just said an S word.
I'm not mad
sorry.
at you.
The New Yorker in me came out for a
It's
second.
We have an
New Yorker.
explicit button that
I was
we
in
can
New,
put
I
on
was
it.
in New York this morning.
Yes, you were. You were in Rochester, though.
Ithaca.
Oh, you were in Ithaca. So they say
Ithaca.
they say stuff instead of that S word.
Where are you from in New York?
I'm from Queens, originally.
Queens.
Queens, what up? And then Upper West Side.
Queensbridge,
That doesn't
what
sound.
up?
It doesn't
Did you
sound.
just do an
the
emoticon?
Queensboro Bridge go up.
He just
What
did an
up?
emoticon.
I don't know.
Queens.
That might be a good segue to if you're wondering what he's looking like, you can go watch us on YouTube. You can also find us on iTunes, and you can find us getting back on the right track right now.
But if you do find us on iTunes, please rate us and subscribe and rate us.
Subscribe,
We
rate,
like comment, and
We
of
rate
course
ourselves PG-13, but we hope you rate us 5 stars.
we rate us 5 stars. Yes, please rate us 5 stars and listen to all the other shows on AfterBuzz as well. Okay, now back on track. So Navarro gives away the tracking info.
Okay.
Yes.
My big question is,
Yes.
so we see Navarre steal the device, run, get
Mm-hmm.
chased by Jack, chased a little bit more, drops off device.
Yes.
Tell me where in that he installs a tracker.
Well, somewhere between last week and this week's episode, I
Oh,
guess.
sure.
Probably grabbed one. You know when he choked out the guy, the analyst, and then he threw it in the bag real quick. He probably just grabbed a tracker from right. He knew what he was doing. Like that was his plan. He knew his game plan. So I'm sure he planned ahead and was like, hey, I'm gonna grab this little tiny tracker. Probably the same size as the things that were on his nipples when Jack came in to interrogate.
If we cut off the nipples, then we wouldn't have had any problem.
Well,
They weren't really on his
Oh,
nipples.
you're
They were
right.
on reading his.
I would just think it's kind of
organisms.
like what, you know, just to get all nerdy, like what Batman does. He throws a bat tracker,
talk nerdy
or
to us.
Spider-Man. You know, like they
Talk
always throw
nerdy
little
to me.
trackers. It's just this little dot thing or something.
So y'all were not
Magnet.
bothered by that.
No, not really.
No, I was okay with
No.
that.
I was okay with
Yeah, I
that.
was okay with
Okay,
that.
screw you.
Do you concur?
I can
I
get.
concur. We concur.
Okay. Well, while I'm like airing my grievances, no,
Okay.
it's not a grievance. But I did not realize that Kate's husband had died.
Yeah, no,
I don't know,
we
is
hadn't
that
been
new
told that
information?
yet.
Okay, perfect.
That was a really good scene when she told
It was
all
great.
that. Yeah, I really like that
And
scene.
you know, I've kind of thought like she's been a little bit like distant and aloof the whole time, her as a character, and that makes a lot of sense. That your husband's name has been dragged through the mud, and then he hangs himself
Yeah.
the day after he sees you.
And especially what we find out about her in the last moments that she had with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was tough.
So I was like, that kind of makes sense. It's like air about her.
I don't.
But she did get. I feel like she got some revenge. She didn't get to kick him in the nuts, but she pretty much looked him in the eye and said, "You are
should've.
going to be executed
Right.
For your crimes."
And
Yeah.
in terms of the show, we needed Adam to be dead to motivate Kate to be where she was now. Because if Adam hadn't hung himself, then Kate wouldn't have been after Navarro as strongly.
Not just
she was
that.
pissed
Not just that. But we also needed Adam to be dead, so there might be some love
between Jack and Kate.
You
yeah.
think there's gonna be a love
Yes,
thing?
I absolutely.
Jack and
don't think
Kate.
it's
No,
Audrey. I think
there's
it's Kate.
0%
No, I've been saying this from the beginning. I
chance.
think it's Kate. Kate is. Let's be real. Audrey or Kate? Who's hotter?
Kate's
You
hotter.
think
Kate.
that-
They're
Thank
both
you very
really-
much.
they're both very
I
hot.
concur 100%.
They're both hot. They're both hot, but
No,
Kate's hotter.
we want to know. What do you guys at home think? Comment on YouTube. Let us know who is more
And
attractive.
that's all that matters in a relationship. Yeah.
No, and
This is
if
just
Jack's
my
still
one
on,
question.
and if Jack is still
Yeah.
on the run fighting terrorism, who do you want on his
Audrey
side?
is married. No, I'm still on.
And
this.
Audrey's
Audrey's
married.
No
married.
way
Kate
that
is
Kate
single
and Jack will get
and
together.
ready to mingle.
Are you kidding me?
They needed this to
Here's
show
the
have some sexual
thing.
tension. At the very least,
Jeff,
they needed
I will bet
her husband
you,
to be dead, so there's
I will
sexual
bet you
tension.
my seat back for next week.
Okay.
But you're going next week anyways. I'll bet you my seat back for the finale.
Yeah.
That Kate and Jack have a moment before the season's over,
A
and
moment
Audrey
to
and
find a kiss.
for something more than a forehead to forehead between him
Here's
and
also,
Audrey.
by the way, about that scene.
I will take that bet.
I can't
I'm
wait
gonna
to see
have,
this.
I'm gonna get it back anyways.
By the way, one other thing about that scene, Jack also got to talk about, you know, he was relating to Kate by talking about his partner, his friend who died, which was Renee. We're assuming he was talking about Renee Fleming.
Right.
Yeah. Renee Walker.
Sorry, I'm reading
Renee
the chat
Fleming's something different. Renee Walker.
I'm reading on the chat room. People are chiming in live. They said Audrey is a 4 at best, and Kate is an 8.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Johnny Bananas.
First of all,
chat
all
room.
those people.
okay, I have to say, even though I love Johnny, it's dead wrong here. I think that Audrey, a 4 at best, is like one of the meaner things that's ever been said about her.
I agree.
I don't think she's a 4. I agree. She's higher than
she's
a 4.
at least a 4.5.
Okay.
Just
No,
kidding.
she's higher
a
than
over
seven.
it.
No,
Kim
wow.
Raver's hot.
She was 7.
Kim Raver is hot.
Hold on, are they
95. She looks phenomenal.
Time out. They're in London. They're in
Yes,
London,
they're
right?
in London. Yes.
Was
So
that a
maybe,
question or-
maybe in like in the Midwest she's like an 8 or 9, but in London she's like a 4.
In London, she's like a 10.5. She's stylish.
It's like the Flight of the Conchords
Baffled.
song where on the street you're one of the top 3 girls depending on the street. One of the, it's like that Flight of the Conchords song.
Okay.
Oh my
Wait.
gosh, I'm sorry.
Going to the relationship
Late
between
hair.
Jack and Kate, though, this was really interesting to me when she says, "How am I supposed to live with that?" And he says, "You just do." It just was one of those really profound moments for me where I was thinking, how many times have I sat here and thought, like, how does Jack wake up every day? How does he keep going and move on with anything?
Well, I mean,
You
really,
just
Jack
do.
could have related. Jack could have related with anything. He related with the whole Renee Walker thing, but he could have been thinking about his wife from season 1. He could have been thinking about all these
Kim
other.
or what- I think that here's the thing, though.
yeah.
He looks, in my opinion, he looks at Kate like like a daughter.
Yeah.
That's when I'm looking at him talk to her. That's how I feel. There, to me,
That's
is,
gonna make it really
is
creepy
no
when they-
sexual
Oh,
chemistry.
Nancy.
I don't.
Thank you.
And especially, we're going to talk about Audrey and Mark's relationship, but it's in we already said it, so I don't mind. It's in the shitter. There's no way.
I just think.
Earmuffs.
Yeah. Thank
We already
PG.
have to go explicit, so I might as well be explicit, you know?
Oh boy.
For this show, it's
Sorry,
fine.
Mom.
Sorry, Mom. Well, you know what?
My mom
Sorry,
watches
Danny's
this.
mom.
I don't think, considering the way the stakes are right now, I don't think Jack's gonna have a love moment with either person. But if there was a season, another season, I'm gonna say he's hooking up with
Mark
Kate.
my words.
He's
him and
hooking
Kate-
up with Kate over
him
Audrey.
and Kate have a moment.
He's hooking up with Kate over
That's
Audrey.
like
It's
him
not
hooking up with
happening.
Kim.
Rather.
Heck no. Kim?
Kim,
No
his daughter.
way.
That's
Zolciak?
like him hooking up with
No,
his daughter.
he's not hooking up. No, he's not hooking up.
No, I'm not saying
It's not
he's
like
going
that.
to. Yes,
It's
him
not
hooking
like
up with
that.
Kate would be him hooking up. He's giving advice. He's being fatherly.
He's
He's been there, done
asexual.
that.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. You know, apparently we can argue about this for a while. We're just gonna have to keep watching to see what happens between Kate and Jack or Audrey and Jack
You
on
mean
that
how
on
much
that
happens?
front. How much happens? Because I am on your side. I'm on Team Danny on this.
Pedophilia.
But you know what? Let's start talking about Audrey.
Wait, okay, I really want to have like big I told you so moments in the finale. So
Okay.
can we just go around the circle and say what we think will happen in the regards to
Those are
sex
for predictions.
and Jack?
You don't want to say that for predictions?
I just want to do it fast. I think 0.
No,
You think 0?
predictions. let's vote on it. Are we saving it predictions? We were saving it. You just got outnumbered
I'm gonna storm out again.
again. Make a scene.
All right, there we go. An early prediction. An early
God
prediction for
bless you,
Jack.
Maria.
Okay, so
Yes,
Jack.
because she is engineering right now.
Absolutely 0% chance of Jack getting hanky panky with anybody.
Has he had sex with they've never had it in the episode. It's been implied he's like been in bed with somebody, but
It's not like Bond. He's not like James Bond where he still gets to have
you
sex
get-
with
he will
ladies in the
not
middle of the
Kiss.
threats.
Can you specifically say what you guys think will
No,
happen
he had
between
se-
Jack and Kate?
He
I
had
already
sex with
said
Renee.
kiss.
We've seen him have sex
Yeah,
with
we
her.
did see him have sex with Renee, but they already had that relationship established for at least over a season. For more than
Okay,
a season.
I'm not saying we're gonna see like some sweet, passionate love making. I'm saying that we're gonna see a kiss between him and Audrey. Absolutely, we're gonna
Okay.
see it.
Nope. Absolutely not.
You know what? It's possible, but I'm gonna say no.
Here's the thing: the marriage is over. The marriage is over with or without Jack. The fact that you can have feelings for somebody else, it doesn't matter who it is, then you shouldn't be with your husband. I
But
think.
she's still married. At least by
Right.
the end of the day, she's still married.
Well, I think that she somehow like breaks up with him or says like we're
No one can break them up. Him being getting accused of treason.
right, which is going to happen, or him dying.
Okay.
I just
So
think that she
let's get back on track. So so you're
are we
saying
giggling about? Something in
you're
the
saying a
chat?
kiss. You're saying a kiss between Jack and Audrey. You're saying a kiss between Jack and Audrey.
No,
We're
I'm
saying
saying a kiss between Jack and his like left hand.
Quote from John
a kiss
Weasel.
between Jack and his left hand. You're saying a kiss between him and Audrey.
Okay, what's Johnny got for us?
Jack Bauer is not asexual. He could pull anyone he wants.
Valid.
There we go. So
John Weasel.
on the topic of Audrey, let's just move really quickly because this obviously has ramifications in this episode
Yeah, it
of
does.
Audrey and Mark. Mark finally talks to Audrey and says that she's been all distant ever since she heard that Jack is back. So Audrey storms off and says it's not true, which causes Mark to start calling the Russians up again.
Well,
And,
she doesn't really say it's not true.
but she storms off.
Yeah, but she doesn't say it's not true. She says she makes it sound like the marriage is an obligation.
Yeah.
And she says, and I intend to uphold my duties, or what I wrote
right.
it down somewhere.
Well, you're
Yeah,
reading.
she did say it that
yeah,
way.
it was.
She said it that
the way
way.
she phrased it was unfortunate. You have to. I mean, you have to give her not even credit. Nobody deserves credit for not cheating, but she's not cheating, so we can't fault her.
She's not
yet.
cheating, but she denies his accusations, and more or less she denies his accusations and storms off, and he doesn't believe her. So he calls up the Russians. He just wants to get rid of Jack.
But it didn't seem like that to me. It seemed like she knew that he was right, and she was like, "Do we have to do this?" She just kept saying like, "Why are you doing this?" She wasn't like, "No, honey, I don't love him." That's what you would say if you didn't love him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying she's saying that, and he doesn't believe her. So she denies it. She denies it, which doesn't mean she's telling the truth or lying. She denies what he's saying.
She avoids it.
She avoids
Okay,
the question.
yeah,
She's
sure.
avoiding it, and she storms off.
Right.
But regardless, whatever she says, whether it's
She's
whatever
an
you think,
avoider. She
she
avoids.
avoids it. Whatever she says, Mark wants to get rid of Jack because he obviously feels that Jack is the reason why Audrey and him are distant.
Well,
Which
Mark-
gives us insight into how awesome that showdown will be next week between Mark and Jack.
Yes.
Absolutely, but I don't think if he wasn't, I don't think Mark would put Jack out if it wasn't for the fact that Mark is going to get in trouble with the Russians if he doesn't.
Well, that's part of it, but I think it's
don't-
extra motivation.
Absolutely, but I don't think if the Russians weren't involved, I don't think Mark would go and shoot Jack. You know, I don't think he would get rid of him himself. I don't think
It's
he's
just
that
because he
motivated.
has an option.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't like that because the option is I give Jack up and ruin the entire mission. I don't know why he...
Possibly
Well,
the world.
don't forget,
Yeah.
he assumes at this point. Don't forget though, at this point in the show, I believe they don't realize that Navarro stole the override device. So he didn't know that yet. So he assumed that the mission was more or less over and the threat was done. So he's
What
pretty
did
much
he think he was
calling.
on the field doing then?
He didn't know because remember Ritter had to call and say the whole thing about Navarro afterwards. Remember, because then he said Jack is on a mission to get the thing, and that's when Mark was like, "Holy crap! I sent the Russians after Jack, and he's not, and he's on the mission to
called
save
him
the
4
world."
times.
Right.
Oh, so he
And he's like,
didn't
don't do it. Wait, I
realize.
changed my mind.
Yeah, I changed my mind. He called.
That's gonna work.
Because in my mind, I was like, even though Mark has hard feelings, he would never give up like literal the entire world.
Yeah,
War
exactly.
3.
Exactly. He's not. He's a
hope
little
so.
douchey, but he's not a villain.
Absolutely. I don't think he's a villain. I think that this season is doing an amazing job making people on the fence. I don't think that Cross was a villain. I
Yeah.
don't think that Mark is a villain. I don't even think necessarily Navarro was the biggest villain.
But obviously, by Mark doing what he does, he's sealing his own fate.
And all of them have villainous ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or they
But they
have
have
something.
redeeming qualities as well, and that's
Right.
why we're on the fence.
But I think it's really interesting that we are taking previous seasons and we've kind of talked about it amongst ourselves and it's been all over the chat. This season is the villain the Russian? Is it the Chinese? Is it the Russian? Is it the Chinese? Well, guess what? It's damn both.
It's
And
both, which
hold
is
on.
awesome.
Yeah.
You weren't here last week, so I got to say this. I said the Chinese last week. I pulled that out last week. We can go back and say it. I said the Chinese.
Are
And you
behind us?
corrected me and you go, well, the Russians. And I said, yeah, you're right. It's probably the Russians more than the Chinese, but I had to think about the Chinese.
Well, the thing about
And they're both involved, so
Yeah.
we're both right.
Okay.
right. So
That's my big one.
Well, they're
That's
involved in
true.
different ways because
But-
the Russians just want Jack.
That's the other way that I definitely see Audrey and Jack reconvening because now they're after the effing Chinese. They're going after the Chinese.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's getting all crazy. We're definitely shooting ahead. So, anyways, the Russians are after Jack,
We're gonna play
and
prediction music a little bit, so I'm thinking I'm getting confused on what we are. I'm confused where we are in this episode.
yeah, well, we're definitely skewing ahead. But before we start talking about Russian and Chinese, let's talk about the Chinese. Let's talk about the fact that Cross and Chloe go back to home base, and we see your gal dead on the floor, and we see
What's her name?
Chell. Deep
and we see the new villain. We see who's supposed to be the villain for the last couple of episodes, Chung, who actually
Chang.
Chang. No, it's not Chang. Chang's from Community.
who?
It's Chung.
Chell.
No, Chell's the girl that was on the
Who
the
are we
villain.
talking about?
Chang.
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 Oh my goodness.
Chang.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
no
I am so sorry. Anybody who's listening here.
C-H-E-N-G, Chang.
E.
Chang.
C-H-E-N-G. It's not Chang and it's not Chung. It's Chang.
Are you okay with that? Do you
that's what I
concur?
said.
It is Chang. I thought I said
no,
Chang.
it's not Chang. It's not Chang.
Oh my
it's
goodness, this has
Chang.
gotten really explicit.
What?
Explicit and racist. Let's just put that on.
Oh my God.
This
General
has gotten really
Chow?
bad.
No. We got it was either
E-N-G.
U-N-G or E-N-G, and
It's
that was a bit of
E-N-G.
debate.
Yeah, exactly.
Chang.
E-N-G.
Chang.
It's Chang.
Okay, I was
Chang
right.
is from Community.
Which got renewed. for
Which
season
got
6
renewed.
today.
I know. I'm really. I actually a part of me kind of would have loved it if it was actually Chang that came out. It would have been really, really awesome from Community because he plays.
The
he would
guy
play.
from Hangover?
Yes, yes. It would have been really awesome if he was actually the villain in 24. I would have loved that. But anyway, so Chang, who
Is supposed to be in prison, but he clearly is not.
and he was the one behind Jack getting kidnapped and tortured in China,
And then,
Audrey afterwards.
Right.
So huge.
Hate him. Talk
Yes.
about not on the fence villains, but real actual life
yeah.
villains.
Yeah.
Another guy you'd kick in the balls.
Another
guy.
guy that I would absolutely kick in the balls, but still not as hard as the
But
guy
most,
that
most
made my husband commit.
importantly, and this makes you kind of wrong if you think about it, he's not with the Chinese government. He's on his own mission.
But I never said the Chinese government. I said the Chinese. And when I refer to the Chinese, I'm referring to the people that were affected by this. I never said the government. I'm saying the Chinese,
Right.
the group that was affected and involved.
I'm confused though here.
Okay.
So
Yes,
I,
by
this,
what?
this
I
might be
concur with that.
How would you describe that group? You'd say the
Terrorists.
The group
Terrorists. I would say
but
they're
that could be
terrorists.
from any country.
I would say the Chinese
specific,
terrorists.
A Chinese.
I'm not
And
saying
I
you.
just shortened it for proximity for time.
I didn't just blame you. I concur.
I didn't have time for that long word.
What are we arguing about?
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm confused
said I was
about.
wrong.
Here's
I
what
don't think I was wrong.
Here's what I'm confused
right, you're
about.
It's like we call Chinese food that here in the States, but in China they call it just food.
Yeah, instead of
like
saying
that.
like, hey, do you want to get Chinese food? You can say, you want to get Chinese. I
Chinese.
just wasn't saying Chinese terrorists. I'm saying
Get Chinese
Oh
what?
my God.
Here's the thing that
Please
I'm
make sure that explicit. Yeah, please make sure that explicit.
Here's what I'm confused about, guys. I am confused about the fact
haven't
that
got
we
that in a
have
year.
we have the submarine going to hit a. What is this?
It is a
The
Chinese
missiles are going
naval
to hit
ship.
the Chinese naval ship. So so Chang is against China, correct?
No.
It's Cheng, not Chang. It's Cheng, first of all. Second of all,
He's against everybody. He's trying to create World War III because when this happens, the Chinese are gonna bomb all of America.
here's what I think. Okay, here's what I think. Obviously, Cheng was a Chinese official. Cheng was a Chinese official, and he was arrested by the government. So he obviously is against his own country, and he doesn't seem to be a fan of the Americans. So what he wants to do is start World War III by having the U.S. attack the Chinese,
Right, by hurting his own country
and
and
then
having
the
it look like
Chinese
it's a
will have to
mess.
attack the U.S. again, starting
okay,
World War
so
III.
now I get it. I'm with you guys. I'm on the same page.
Okay.
Where do the Russians come into this?
The Russians wanted Jack from before, and
Right,
that's
but they have nothing to do with the Chinese.
They're separate.
as
Right.
of now.
yes.
and so-
they're just screwing up the whole mission because of Mark.
So right now,
Yes.
the Russians are presumably still after Jack because Jack
Yeah.
just
Yes.
shot their 2 men.
Yes. Well,
and
yeah.
so the Chinese are not after Jack. The Russians are after Jack, but the Chinese are about to encounter Jack because Jack is after the device, which the Chinese now have.
The Russians are after Jack for stuff that happened in previous seasons.
Exactly.
The Chinese
Have no anticipation of seeing Jack Bauer.
they just want that device for their own means, which is to start World War III.
Right, but do we think that Jack is potentially going to be used as some sort of bargaining chip between the Russians
Russians?
and the Chinese?
I doubt it because I don't think the Russians know what. Well, first of all, it's not a government thing. This is a terrorist group. I don't think they're going to negotiate with the Russians for this. Hey, there's no missiles facing Russia. It's just U.S. and China
Yeah.
right now. So why do the Russians want to protect that?
Do you really think that Chang has any care in the world about Jack Bauer? Oh, he's alive. Are they going to like capture him and like interrogate him?
I think-
I don't think they care.
Yeah, because I
don't
think
think
as long as Jack's out there, then Chang has a target on his.
But here's the interesting
chest.
thing too: the Russians don't want to capture Jack apparently, because we saw that in the subtitles.
wanna
The
kill
Russian
him.
they want to kill him, so
Right.
they totally rammed the car that Jack and Kate were in, and they're out to kill him. So we're leaving Jack at the end of this hour in a firefight with the Russians.
I do have to say one thing that I kind of poke a hole in here is the fact that Cross got shot so quickly and Chloe's still alive. Obviously, we have to keep Chloe alive because it's 24.
Well, let's talk about that too, because yeah, Cross after looking like he would probably be the villain. I mean, he said he was the middleman, so apparently Cheng was the top dog, even though Cross was doing his own thing. He was trying to play both sides.
Right.
So Cross has been killed off, and Chloe ended up doing the work. She tried to sabotage the system and put a virus in, but they were too smart
Right.
for that. And Cross, just like that, is gone. So pretty much everybody from his organization, with the exception of that one guy who was breathing really heavy.
I wrote down his name.
the
It was
mustache?
like
With
it was like
yeah.
Shoshi or
They'll be dead.
Okay,
and,
let's
and
not
including
get on
Chell, including Chell.
Shishi.
Oh gosh.
Show she.
Oh my goodness, guys. So I thought what I thought happened at the end of this episode was amazing. It wasn't like they were not going to wait till next episode. They weren't going to say in an hour we will shoot this Chinese ship. They actually said,
Yeah.
"Here's the launch codes. Let's send it out." And the
Yeah.
damn submarine, that
Hey.
nuclear submarine, shot and fired and
Let's-
got that Chinese ship,
Let's
and
do
we
this.
saw.
Nando, let's give a shout out to our naval ship or our submarine for getting that off so fast. They got those torpedoes.
Do you think that that's realistic? Do you think like no
Yes.
questions
No,
asked?
I think that's.
that was
They
amazing.
did their job.
That was their job. He said he got the codes and he goes, "Let's do this." Like right away.
Right.
Like they were waiting to do that.
That's just
Yeah.
such a. That's just.
I took your pen.
That's
We've
sad.
seen a
fine.
few good men. It
But
was
that's
his
scary.
orders.
That's scary that it could be that
Scary,
simple.
I
Someone could,
know.
if someone could somehow hack
It's
into a
just like,
system
bam.
and send the right code, figure it out, and send it to a ship that's that quickly they can
But
shoot.
I appreciate
I-
the execution
Yeah.
by our forces.
Absolutely. I kind of wanted like a follow-up call being like, hey, just BT dubs. And they're like, yeah, duh, do it.
Well, I would wonder. I mean, if anyone has
Instagram it.
anyone
Yeah.
has any knowledge about this, I'd love to know. I mean, we always say that 24 kind of plays around with the time a little bit. Like
Yeah.
obviously with LA traffic,
seemed a little
when they say
fast.
I'll be there in 5 minutes, and we know like living here
I'm
in
like,
LA,
you can't
you
do-
can't
yeah.
be there in 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe this was a little fast too.
Yeah.
You know, it's perhaps a.
Yeah, but they got off really fast.
Yes.
They really did.
Thanks,
and then,
Jeff.
And then we see Wabang.
Yes, we're back.
too.
So I gotta say, last week's episode was really awesome, but I mean, this week's episode had a lot.
It
I
was
mean, the
amazing.
Russians, the
Loaded.
Chinese. It looks like World War III has just begun, and Jack's in the middle of this big firefight, and
Right.
Navarro's captured, but a lot of stuff happening.
We did address this a little bit, but
Yeah.
I just am wondering how you guys feel about the fact that, because we did address tiny bit, but Chloe's family was not. This was unintentional. I
Yeah.
mean, I was really surprised. I thought that this was all going to come to a head, and the people who were after Jack were the same people after Chloe's family. Do we completely believe that? Do we believe Cross there?
That is one good question. I think we believe Cross there because he was about to die, and I
Yeah.
think it was a moment of confession that he wanted to let her know before he died.
Right.
And it would be some motivation for Chloe saying, "Oh my God, I thought this whole time that
I was doing the
had
right
agents."
thing.
Well, no, I thought this whole time I had governments after me and agents behind me, but it was an actual accident,
Yeah.
and this might bring her back. With Jack or working for the CIA or in some capacity. So I think that, if anything, that's definitely, and obviously she had a guilty conscience this whole episode working with Cross for what he
Right.
was doing. So I really do see Chloe being back on Jack's side.
I agree, and I don't think he was lying. He says, "Please don't ask me to regret what I did," or "Please don't ask me to regret what I stood for. I don't."
Yeah.
There was no need for him to make something up at this point. I just was very surprised because everything Chloe's done is because of that, and now there was no motivation to be on this team. So when you kind of realize you're living a lie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I mean, that's kind of, I think that'll be good news for us to see Chloe working with Jack again and being in his earpiece. And,
Yeah.
for whatever these last two episodes hold. I can't believe it's only two more
I know.
episodes left. It's kind
I
of
feel
sad.
like now that she has a closure, though, she can finally wipe off her eye makeup, grow her hair back out, look like a normal person.
Maybe she will. Maybe her
That
golf
excites
stage is
me.
over.
Maybe that's what we see the jump for. That's what the jump. And
now
sometimes she gets her haircut.
She goes for a haircut,
spa
a
day.
makeover,
Save
spa.
it for predictions, okay?
Yeah, good point.
Well, speaking of that word, we should do
keyword?
maybe we should do
This will be
predictions.
the third time around.
Yes.
I think second.
No,
third.
third. You missed one. We were talking over one of them.
You had your headphones.
We're
on.
talking
It was when
over
you were
this
gonna
one.
walk out.
We're talking over this
It
one
was
too.
during your grand exit.
Oh, darn.
So do we have any predictions left, Jeff? I mean, we definitely
I don't
talked to death
have
about Jack and.
specific predictions.
Okay.
But I'm very excited by the trailer for the preview.
Yes.
It showed a lot of things going on. We see, I believe, the Chinese president, or at least a diplomat.
Yeah.
A lot of things are ramping up. The Russians, didn't we not end the episode with Russians and Bauer's fighting?
The firefight. They were in the middle of the firefight still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see them not make out.
Jack and the Russians not make out?
Yeah, and
okay.
Kate.
And Kate.
I definitely think that even if we don't see Jack and Audrey together, we're gonna end believing that they will be together at some point, and
Heck no.
and what's gonna bring them back to that place is the Chinese being back.
Okay.
It's going to bring back the chemistry between them, but it won't bring back their relationship.
Here's a.
That would require Mark being completely out of the picture.
Hey, Danny, I don't concur.
And for the fans, can we just say Mark's
I
last name
conquer.
correctly? Boudreaux.
Mark
Yeah,
Boudreaux.
there's somebody was
Bruh.
really upset about that.
Did one of you guys say it wrong?
I'm from the
No,
South.
no, you.
You've been saying it wrong the whole time.
Well, I've been saying Boudreaux.
No, you
Bordeaux.
said Bordeaux.
Did I say Bordeaux? Mark Bordeaux?
Somebody pointed out on the YouTube.
A nice little
No, he was like, I love you guys so. Whoever
Nice
put it out, I
little
love you
Bordeaux.
guys so much, but I swear to God, if you say this one more time, I'm gonna kick my cat or something.
Yeah, something randomly.
I was like,
forgot about
okay,
that.
let's get
So
straight.
So Jeff, correct us one more time.
Boudreaux.
Boudreaux. Got it.
Okay.
Okay, my French is not that good, apparently. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, guys,
Yeah, Danny?
I just really feel like.
And by the way, a shout out to Danny, by the way, because you almost got a perfect game. You almost got a perfect
did.
game. The
Oh my
equivalent of
gosh.
a perfect game in baseball.
For all of my
Danny almost got it.
Nando,
By 1 second. By 1 second you missed.
I went 3 out of 4 tonight.
There were 3 breaks. There were 4 breaks, and we played the 24
Do you
game.
want me to tell it, or do you want to tell it?
I'm
You
trying
seem
to
like
build
you're
you
more
up.
It was
excited.
confusing because you
excited.
said
I think
Nando's,
he
and then I
told
thought
us.
he was gonna tell it.
I think he told it.
No,
Go
I was
for
just,
it.
I was just trying to get.
I'll tell it.
Let's have your
yeah,
moment.
Go, conquer it.
I have a bedtime.
Danny cheats at this game, so it's kind of null and void. But there is a game that we play that you guys know,
We've
and
explained
it's
the game
about
every week.
right the
We've explained
time
it every week.
that you
I
guys
agree. I
know the
concur.
time that it is, then the time that it comes back. So times between the commercials. And Danny got 3 out of 4 correct, and the 4th one that he didn't get correct was 1 second off
second.
because he looked it
fine.
up and knew that we would know he was lying completely if he got the last one.
Guys,
I was trying to actually acknowledge
Hold on,
him,
let
and
me
he was
actually say
so
something.
sabotaging it.
Guys, I'm talking.
No, let me actually say
Danny,
something. I don't ever get to say anything.
congratulations. I'm really happy for you, and I'm really impressed.
I've learned that in order to talk, I have to sit on that side of the table so Nando can see me. Because if I sit here, something about our shirts, we just don't get to talk.
Oh man, that's the last time I compliment you on this game.
I'm
Holy
just kidding.
crap!
So here's the deal. John said this when he called
to Team
in.
Roxy.
John Weasel said this when he called in. He said if you can measure the amount of time on the first commercial, it's usually very similar. It was 4:33 on the first commercial, which means they were all 4:30.
So you were counting cars.
That's the point of the game. That's
Oh,
been
boy.
known from day one.
My prediction, here's my prediction. This is going to totally discredit you guys. I think Audrey's going to have a nervous breakdown when she discovers Cheng is behind all this. Somehow she's going to have an altercation with Cheng, and she's going to revert back to a
And who
major
saves
nervous
her,
breakdown.
Jack or Mark?
Jack will probably save her, but she'll probably have to go back to a mental institution.
Mark's saving nobody.
Mark's saving nobody. Mark's done.
Audrey's
Anyway,
not ending up in a mental institution.
There was that one moment with the president where the president, we see that his Alzheimer's is getting worse.
He's stressed out.
yeah, but that's
Also, the
minor.
president is arresting Mark for treason.
Yes.
Okay, that's coming next week, which
And
we'll
Mark,
talk more about.
prediction. And Mark's gonna be like, well, you can't arrest me because you have Alzheimer's.
Good night and good luck.
I can see that happening.
Roxy, where can
I
we
think
find
that's
you?
real.
And in case I don't see you.
Where can we
Good
find you with
afternoon,
all your
good
crazy
evening,
predictions, Roxy?
You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar.
I'm also on everywhere at Jeff Masters 1.
You can find me researching the webs to find the correct times for the commercial episodes of next week. Also at Danny Hoyt.
And you can find me on Twitter at Nando Vel, and you can find us all on various AfterBuzz shows. Tune in next week for the next to last episode of AfterBuzz 24. Live another day. Thank you. Tune in then.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.